Hey, everybody. So we're on the last Auric program, which is number 49, and it's zodiac influences and planetary influences. So the thing with the influences of the zodiac and the planetary influences, this has a lot more to do with consciousness. A lot of times if we think about we think about a dysregulated state. We have all this talk about fight, flight, and fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, and then we go into vagal tone where we are in rest and repair, and we're a little bit more in the intuitive mind. The difference between the drive of our lower nature and the drive of our higher nature. And the drive of our higher nature is the part of us that wants to be happy, wants to connect, wants to grow and evolve and have these deeper experiences. And the drives of the lower nature are about repetition and maintenance and trying to keep things the way that they've always been, just to keep a kind of state of comfort. And when we have like a health issue or we have like some sort of psychological issue, we're trying to maintain the place that we're at. We're not trying to grow. We're not trying to evolve. We're not trying to really heal. We're just trying to, like, I just want to get everything back to the way that it was. Or I don't want to expand too much. I don't want to, go in any direction. I just want to be right where I'm at. And this is the difficulty that happens with healing is, we have the symptoms and we have the nervous system, we have these different aspects. But the bottom line is, when we're in a state of disease, when we're in a situation that's not healing, our consciousness is fixed. And we're trying to hold on to that consciousness. We're not wanting it to go in any direction. It's like, I know how I feel right here. I'm trying to maintain this place that I'm in. Right. And so, just that by its very nature is dysregulation. That is not allowing for healing. It's not allowing for like connecting, evolving, cultivating happiness, spiritually growing, evolving, any of these things. And so when we look at the idea of the zodiac and planetary influences, think of the zodiac signs as patterns of expression. You have like 12 different aspects within your consciousness that are some sort of archetypal pattern of expression. And then the planets are like a force or a function of your consciousness. By looking at the different aspects of the seven planets, you can understand different areas or different aspects of your consciousness of who you are, right? And so, these are going to impact different areas within us. They're going to impact our personality. They're going to impact our motivation to do things in our life. It's going to impact emotional patterning. Like, we don't just have random emotions coming out. We have kind of patterns or operating, mm, maybe not operating systems, but more like an app that's just always kind of running in the background. And so the even like how the mind processes things and identifies with things and expresses is all tied to these aspects. Mm, you could say depending on where you're at with both the planets and the zodiac aspects, is even tied to your identification with the primal aspect of yourself, the lower nature or the more reactive nature of ourselves, rather than our higher faculties and who we truly are. And then within that, within the planets and the consciousness and the different planetary and zodiac influences, in that is also how our spiritual lessons play out. And lessons a lot of times means our development of certain tendencies or qualities within the soul. A lot of times we see lessons as like some sort of punishment that, we're getting smacked with a ruler on our fingers and, we're not learning our lesson. But our lessons could be just things that we go through and have to do in life, you know. So this idea of zodiac and planetary influences is very significant for psychological healing, for spiritual healing, working with angels, all these different aspects of developing different areas of ourself. You know, we get used to seeing things from a very kind of narrow viewpoint, and we just assume this is all of us, when really it's a tiny fragment of who we are. And so, bottom line, this is something that could be done to explore different areas or aspects of yourself. So, with that, let's have you pull out Zodiac Support. And we're going to start with the standard approach. Your awareness is on the left hand side of your body, the left hand side, like your left face, throat, shoulder, ribs, your left hip, down the outer part of the leg to the left outer ankle. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Now do the front side of your body, your face and throat, your chest, abdomen, down the front of the pelvis, the fronts of the legs, down to the tops of your feet. The right side of your face, your right neck and shoulder, your right ribs and hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. Right side of your body. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then move to the back side. Your awareness is on the back side. back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. And then pause and be still. So that was the standard approach. That's something you could do daily. If you're going to do it, I'd probably do it at night before you go to bed. But you could do it daily. You could do it with other processes and protocols, or you could also do it as a stack with other Auric programs. But now we're going to jump into the advanced approach, which you might only want to do once or twice a week. That way, your energy body has time to process it, and your nervous system and your physiology has time to shift and integrate. So, you're still using the same oil. You're inhaling. Your awareness is on the left side of your body, the whole left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder, ribs, your left hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. And now move your awareness to the back side of the body, the back side, back of the head, the whole back, the hips, down the backs of the legs to the heels. The right side of your body, the whole right side of your face, neck, shoulder, your right hip, the outer leg to the right outer ankle. And then the front side of the body, the face, throat, chest, abdomen, front of the pelvis, down the fronts of the legs to the tops of your feet. And pause and be still. And then pause. You're just pausing and being still. Okay, let's put our awareness on the knees. So either the whole knee or the back of the knee. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on your knees. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Move your awareness to the ankles. Your awareness is on the ankles. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The soles of your feet. Your awareness is on the soles of your feet. Just pausing and letting go. And just being still. You know, and just being still for a moment. Let's again do the four quadrants. Your awareness is on the left side of your body, the whole left side. Left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder and ribs, your left hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. Your awareness is on the left side. You're doing nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The front side of the body. Your face and throat, your chest, abdomen, front of your pelvis and the fronts of your legs to the tops of your feet. Now the right side of the body, the whole right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder and ribs, your right hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. Your awareness is on the right side. The back side of the body, back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. And then pause and be still. And just be still for a moment. Okay, last little piece. Your awareness is on your brain. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on your brain. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on your spine. And taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the brain and spine both at the same time. The brain and the soles of your feet, both at the same time. As you inhale, move your awareness up above the ankles. As you exhale, move your awareness down into the earth. And then pause and let go. Talking about the accessing of different aspects of our consciousness, most of the things that drive us are the unconscious. And the unconscious isn't some dark place. It's not some dark, wounded area or dark, um, you know, negative parts of ourselves. It's the areas that have been unlit, like haven't experienced light. That's all it means. It's not been brought up into our awareness. It's not even necessarily bad. Sometimes there's things that are good qualities, abilities that are laying dormant within us that we haven't accessed in ourselves because maybe a situation hasn't drawn it out of us, or we just have never shifted our awareness to that area. So, this idea of the different aspects of the zodiac or the planetary influences helping to access these parts that haven't been lit up before, right? A lot of times, this is us processing. We're processing our unconscious, we're bringing it up into our awareness. A lot of times, we have drives that might be causing us suffering, right? They might be causing us problems, but they're unconscious drives. So we go, well, I'm going to choose this, I'm going to choose that. Well, that's nice, but usually the unconscious has significantly more influence over us. Significantly. You could say conscious awareness is the tip of the iceberg, where a majority of the iceberg is below the surface of the water. And by going through and working this aspect, it starts to bring you're processing unconscious, but you're also starting to bring a kind of harmony between the conscious mind and the unconscious. In the body, there's this thing called nerve fluid. It's not like normal science. It's an energetic or a mystical aspect, but it's basically there's this like essence within us that as we unwind certain parts of our nervous system, this essence gets released in us, and it's how we experience deep levels of happiness, awareness, but um, it's also an essence that refines the nervous system to a very high degree. We talk about getting out of fight, flight, and cultivating rest and repair, and all these things. This is tied, like we have these different areas in our nervous system. that are like processing centers, like bundles of nerves that are like like they direct things, they process things, they're just like a bundle of activity, like these little different cities that are in us that, it's the big city and then there's the suburbs and then there's the old country roads and, the farmland and, our nervous system looks a lot like that. And the more that you work the zodiac aspect or the planetary aspects, what you're doing is you're hitting these processing centers in your nervous system. So, you can go at them directly, but the old school way of doing it is you worked the zodiac signs and you worked the planetary energies. This actually also has an impact on these parts of the nervous system. Mechanically, they're referred to as a plexus. You know how like there's the solar plexus. There's all these different like little bundles of nerves in different areas of the body, and they have a major influence over us. And so, depending on how you go at it, either through anatomy, physiology, or through these mystical practices, part of what you're doing is you're shifting the drives of the lower nature by uh, bringing and processing that aspect of the unconscious. Like the lower nature really can't be refined very much without really addressing the unconscious. Because it's a lot of like desires and motivations that we have no idea about. And so, the drives of that lower nature is also what causes us a lot of suffering. It might help us to stay alive, but it's also a thing that causes us a lot of problems. And so by going through and processing this, you are helping to refine this area. I don't know. I'll stop talking about it. Yeah.
Extra share.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like what got into him? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. But if you want to share or ask questions, you can unmute yourself. You can type in.
Yeah, go ahead, Denise.
Hey, hey, how are you?
Oh, well, it really was very relaxing for me. And actually, I didn't have to struggle. Sometimes I have to struggle doing the
Yeah,
protocol,
I hear you.
and it really helped me with that. That's all I can say. It didn't, it like allowed for it more easily.
Yeah, this one, like this one and the angelic support when I work them, I'm always so surprised at how like soothing and how they kind of like knock me out. I'm like, ugh, I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna do this and that, and then I'll start playing with those two, and they knock me out every time.
Well, I can tell you, for a few months, my nervous system's been really ramped up. Like even I've got hives several times a day. Okay,
Oh yeah,
so very, very ramped up. Only like Sunday was the first time. Well, I really made sure I just didn't do much for a couple of days. I
right.
just really had to stop. And I had to kind of bring my thoughts back, and
Hmm.
start checking inside what the heck is going on because my body was so unhappy. And
Hmm.
I've been to that dermatologist 3 times. Today we biopsied to see what's kind of happening. But I could feel Sunday afternoon for the first time in a very long time where I started to let down. And maybe I was picking up on this zodiac coming in because, we are just a group, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
this was so beautiful. It had that same kind of energy of just,
Oh, good.
that's how it felt to me, which I'm
Yeah,
very grateful for.
yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing us these beautiful oils and teachings.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. Maybe keep inhaling some hyssop.
Is that okay?
Yeah, for a little while. I mean, other things too, but like, The idea being that if the body's like super dysregulated, just keep calming down some of the dysregulation,
Oh, that's great.
you
Thank
know,
you.
because, sometimes it's, what's going on. It might be other people, it might be something that you might have to be dealing with, or, who knows. And the best thing you can do is just keep calming down the nervous system.
I would tend to agree. I've never seen my body like this before, and I couldn't seem to get out of it, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I guess it took me to where it's showing me, what it's doing to myself. So I have to really pause and start paying close attention and going inside and asking about this. So thank you so much for this.
So just to kind of keep building on what we're talking about, because I think this is all, it's always like, when we do these things, it's not just theory. We're always applying them to the things going on with us. And so, if you think about like what I was saying about the conscious mind and the unconscious and how we process it. If you think about it, it's what we do when we do body listening. When we're doing body awareness, you're sitting there and you're listening to the body, and you go, okay, I have some tension around my back, or around my spine, or I have this spot, or there's this heaviness in my kidneys, or whatever it is, right?
Right.
Part of what you're doing, like, then you put your attention and awareness on that area, and you're concentrating and you're listening. Part of what you're doing there is you're processing something from the unconscious, you're bringing it up to the surface, and as you start to expand, as we do that practice, what's happening is it's being processed. Like your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and repair mode is processing whatever that is, and then healing it, releasing it, integrating it, calming it down, bringing it to regulation, whatever it is. And so if you think about like what's happening when we're doing that, we're talking about it here in a very different way, but it's still that same thing. When you sit and concentrate on an area of your body, you're doing what we were just talking about here. And when we talk about doing here, again, it's working that same aspect. You are kind of practicing a kind of body listening that's a little bit different. And, part of what you're doing, like when you're concentrating, the longer that you can stay focused, the more that you'll process from the unconscious. So
Mm.
like if you were to flip it around and we go like, okay, we're going to work the zodiac signs, we're going to work the planetary energies. Part of what you're doing is you're working these deeper parts of your nervous system, and you're helping to shift that. And in doing so, it allows for the mind to be able to concentrate for longer periods of time. So it's like you're just working both sides, regardless of how you're doing it. You're still just kind of working it back and forth. And, you, you know, be it a lot of physical things, but I'd say most psychological things. So here, when your body feels weird and you're feeling agitated or whatever, it boils down to there's some sort of disconnect between the unconscious and the conscious. And so
Mhm.
even that idea, as simple as it is, where we go through and we go, okay, I'm going to listen to the body. I'm going to listen. And, you, you know, I was super guilty of it so many years ago. I was like, this is silly. This is ridiculous. We're listening to the body. This is so boring. It's so simple, but it's so complex. There's so much complexity to it. And, the more that you kind of do it, you're calming down your nervous system, you're quieting your mind, but you're letting your body and your brain communicate, but really on a deeper level, you could say you're letting the unconscious and the conscious communicate. You're
Mhm.
letting that happen, and improves your level of concentration, and it improves your level of awareness, right? And so whenever you find yourself, in these situations, I mean, like these oils that we use tonight, you could totally use. It would be super helpful. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
things you could do. You could do ball of light. You could do angelic awareness. You could do, a bunch of single oils. You could do gingerly. There's all kinds of things you can do. But even if you didn't use oils and you just set that aside, and when you're not feeling good, go, okay, um, where do I feel it in my body? It's a simple thing, and it might only take 5 or 10 minutes. It really can start shifting something that we might not even know what it is, but it will start shifting you in a way where you're moving your body into communication for one, but also you're just engaging that healing process, that balancing process. And when in doubt, just stop and listen to the body. Like last week, I had a situation where I had to have an uncomfortable conversation. It wasn't an argument or anything, but it was just uncomfortable. For everybody involved. And it was just some things had to be addressed. But I scheduled time to, like, when I'm done, I'm not upset, I'm not anything, but I sat for about 15, 20 minutes and I go, I'm just going to listen to my body. And, I did. And I don't know that I was needing to process anything, but when I was done with that situation and walked away to do other things in the day, I was truly done with that situation.
Oh,
You know
wow.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I
Yeah.
didn't keep thinking about it. I didn't need to keep processing it. I didn't like keep drifting there with my mind or whatever. And, you know, granted, it wasn't upsetting, but it was still, it was one of those talks where
Yeah.
it's just like, let's address the elephant in the room. And, it was one of those kinds of talks. And so I would say don't even wait for there to be like a symptom or like, okay, you just had a tough conversation with the doctor, or you just had a weird interaction with your son or somebody. Then even if you're feeling okay, go, I'm going to sit for 10 minutes. I'm going to feel it in my body. I'm just going to feel it in my body. And if you start doing that, what starts to happen is, whenever we have any of these interactions, the very first thing is a perception and a reaction. And then there's this chain of events of, like, then it's like, what value is this of to me? Is this going to hurt me? Is this going to upset me? Is this going to displace me? And then what do I do about it? And then you put it in action, right? But that first thing is a perception and a reaction. If you process it there, you'll complete the whole loop, like the whole neural cycle. You'll totally complete it, because usually it goes south in the perception and reaction, and then you start establishing value. And the more upsetting that first reaction and perception is, the more the chain of events becomes negative, and we get stuck in a loop. And
Yeah.
then when we're in the loop, doesn't matter that mentally you might have been okay with whatever happened. You leave now and your body is stuck in this loop. And for your body, that situation is still happening and happening and happening and happening. And a week goes by and it's still happening and happening. A year goes by, still happening, still happening. And so it might not even be something that happened this week that you might be feeling. It could be something that was a week ago, a year ago. Who knows? And something maybe just tweaked it or triggered it a little bit and got it up to the surface.
Boy, that was brilliant. That was a great, and I could feel it when you were talking about it, that if you kind of right then and there stop and
Yeah,
listen,
just,
it allows that to complete its cycle, or
yeah,
at least, do a huge figuring, whatever it does, you know what I mean? Shifting things
right.
around. Yeah. and
Because
flush.
even if you do a thing where you go like, oh, I was in the store and I said something to the clerk, I wish I hadn't said that.
Yeah.
You just sit and go, okay, feel it in the body. 2 minutes, feel it in the body. Okay, shake it off. Try not to do something like that again. Whatever. You know what I mean? It can be instead of waiting for there to be some manifestation of a loop, let's just assume that we make loops and start addressing them just as quickly as possible. Because really, what we're talking about then is quality of life. If you start doing that, then you could say healing, you could say growing, you could say evolving, spiritual, whatever. But really, it's quality of life.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It makes perfect sense. Thank you so
You're
much.
so welcome.
I'm so glad you unwound this so much.
Good.
And someone shared, so true, Denise. True for me too. Not so personally physical, but in terms of my desires. There have been lots of obstacles in the way of my will attracting its fruits. Cars, trucks, traffic detours, all slowing me down
Yeah.
from getting to my shop and doing my work. And I was calm about it. I used to growl and fret and swear at the dirty, rotten, wrecked freckets that were getting in my way. And the last 2 days have been so much more quiet and calm. I have such a soft and easy last 2 days rather than hard and angry. Thank you, group and Greg. I'm loving this difference.
Good.
And I wanted to share because I've really enjoyed seeing how my body responds to all the different art programs. And today it was, just a little bit different than maybe sometimes before. When we first did the first left side, I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep. And by the time we got to the advanced, I started yawning and just like releasing and moving stuff. And by the time we ended with the brain souls and like paused, when we came out of the pause, I was like, oh, I'm like reset. I have energy again. I'm good to go. And I would just, it feels like vigor inside.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, yeah. Very good.
Someone said, I am freezing. I was flying towards the end.
Oh, good.
Thanks for your shares, guys. I think we're ready for a deeper dive.
Yeah, so let's do a deeper dive. So, for those of you that are just joining us, we're using Zodiac Blend. If you don't have that, you could use aloes, you could use ambrit, you could use kava kava, you could use myrrh, spikenard, larch. Let's see where everybody's at with that. And if you still need something, let us know. Otherwise,
No one's saying anything.
okay. So, just to kind of capitalize on the conversation that we were just having, let's continue with a little bit of putting in action the thing that we were just talking about. So, the thing that I'd like you to do is just before you even inhale any oils, just check in with yourself. Check in with some maybe different people around you, check in with situations. Things might have happened this week that, maybe weren't negative, but they stayed on your mind, or you're like, oh, I wish I had said that, or, whatever it is. Okay. Now, practice awareness on your body. You're practicing awareness on your body. Where do you feel something in your body? Your back, your hips, your jaws, and wherever it is, concentrate on that area. Take nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Keep inhaling into that area. Okay, let's pause for a second. Let's just talk for a second. First off, notice how you feel, your body, your emotions, your mind. Okay, so let's say it like this. What we call the unconscious is directly tied to the lower nature, the drives of the lower nature, the drives of the body and the physiology, right? Like our primal drives, right? The more that things move from these lower aspects into awareness is another way of saying that it's moving from the lower centers up to the upper centers. You're starting to experience more of your higher faculties. When you're experiencing more of your higher faculties, you're more conscious of those aspects, even if it's things within your body, right? So the idea is we want to keep moving the energy from our lower centers up higher so that we go from being unconscious to conscious. And the reason to move from being unconscious to conscious is it helps to reduce our tendency to, you know, the patterns that cause us suffering. But if you think about it, what you're doing is you're shifting yourself out of being reactive, right? We all have it. It's instincts, right? We're shifting ourselves out of a reactiveness. And if we move those energies from our lower centers up to the upper centers, then we begin to have choices. When they're in the lower, it's just reactions. There is no choice. It's just a series of reactions. But as they move up, we might still have some of those impulses, but we still process them, and then we begin to make choices. Then at that point, we get to be the captain of our own ship. But until then, when they're down in the lower centers, when we're being driven more by the lower nature, we are just a ship out on the ocean being blown wherever the wind blows our sails. We're not guiding anything. We're just in a series of reactions. So when we go through and we listen to the body, part of what's happening is the body, you're listening to the body and it's starting to register in the mind. If you think about it, that's energy moving from your lower centers. It's moving from the body and it's moving up to be processed by the brain, right? So even that, even the mechanics of that is you're moving energy from your lower nature to your higher nature, lower consciousness to higher consciousness, or unconsciousness to consciousness, right? So after we listen to the body a little bit, or we can put our attention and awareness on different areas in the body, then the thing to do after that is to do the Lama Yoga, which is kind of like the materialization breath. We just don't hold our breath, right? And the act of like inhaling, moving your head up, and then exhaling on the way down, the act of that actually starts to move energy from your lower centers and moves it to your upper centers. So when we process these different areas in the body, then if we do it for a little bit and maybe we do the ball of light and keep driving it deeper, and then the next step is to do the Lama Yoga, which is inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, right? We do like 7 to 14 of those at a time. That's literally moving the energy from your lower nature or your lower centers or from the unconscious, whatever verbiage you want to use, to your upper centers, your upper awareness, and higher consciousness. So the combination becomes very potent in healing the body, healing the emotions and mind, and even unwinding things that maybe we've carried through from patterns from our family or things we came in with, whatever it might be. So we've listened to the body. In this, you're not even going to use an oil. You're simply going to put your head down, inhale through your nose, bringing your head up, and then you'll pause for a second and then exhale through the mouth, moving your head down. Inhale up, exhale 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 down. Just be still. So normally we say like check in with your whole body, listen to your body. This time I'm going to narrow the parameters. Check in with your body from the knee down. Your knee, your lower leg, your ankle, your feet, whatever you feel that jumps out or sticks out the most in that area, put your awareness on it and concentrate on that area. You're inhaling the oil with your awareness on that area. And then just pause and let it go. Just let everything go. Visualize yourself in a brilliant ball of light. In front of you, behind you, on the left, on the right, above you and below you. And then just let that go. Now you're not using oils. Chin down to your chest. Inhale through your nose as you gently lift your head up. Exhale through the mouth as you come down. Inhale up. Exhale 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 down. Just be still. Just let go. Just be still. We're going to do more, but let's maybe do shares and questions. How did that feel for you? Yeah, knocked out. Yeah.
But yeah, feel free to share, guys, if you're
Yeah.
conscious.
Like Denise, like I'd be curious, like how do you feel right now?
Actually, I'm really chilled, but I do have like a lot of moisture in my eyes, and
Hmm.
which is good because probably they're releasing. They've actually been kind of itchy, and I was afraid the hives were going to move up around my face, and because I was even having a bit of a sore throat with this.
Sure.
Um, yeah, it was. So I've been trying to get a hold of it. Talk about a loop, Greg. It's just it's been
All
looping
right.
for several times a day. So no, my eyes feel more relaxed, and actually my jaws too. My jaws just quivered almost the whole time, but they're
Good.
releasing a lot.
We're gonna do more, but like I think this is a path for you to feel better.
I think I would agree. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
You're so welcome.
And someone else said me too.
Yeah. I mean all of us, but like, Denise was the one that was talking about the issue. So
Yeah. I think we still have people conscious. Just they're a little more quiet. But
okay.
feel free to type in too, guys,
Yeah.
as things start coming through and things
Sure.
like that. But go ahead.
So we did the lower leg. Let's do the thigh, the upper leg. So the pelvis and the hips and your thighs. Like evaluate those areas, observe those areas, and whatever area jumps out the most, put your awareness on it, concentrate on it. So just concentrate on it for a minute or two. And you're inhaling the oil as you concentrate on that area. You're inhaling in that area. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then just pause and let that go. Visualize yourself in a brilliant ball of light. You're inhaling while you meditate on the ball of light. And then just let go. Okay, so now you're going to do your low back, your mid back, your abdominal area, your abdominal cavity, your internal organs, that whole lower and mid back area, and then front of the torso, lower torso. Your awareness is on that area. Where do you feel something jumping out in that area? Wherever it is, concentrate on that area. You're inhaling with your awareness on that area. And then just pause and let go. You're visualizing the ball of light, meditating on the ball of light. You're inhaling the oil while you meditate on the ball of light. Then pause and let go. Hey, let's do a little bit more Lama Yoga. So you're not using oils. Chin down to your chest. Inhale through the nose, bringing your head up. Exhale through the mouth, down. Inhale up. Exhale, 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 down. Just be still. Notice how you feel, your body, your emotions, your thoughts. There you go.
That's sleepy.
Sleepy. And we're going to do a little bit more, but still, does anybody have a share or a question they'd like to ask? You can unmute or type in. If not, we'll just jump right back into the practice.
Super relaxed. You woke me up. LOL. I got a yawn emoji.
So you can kind of see people are saying super relaxed, yawning. What did you say? Like still,
Yeah.
quiet, and sleepy. And so if you think about it, be it that we're working through something physically, like some issue in our body, or we're processing something emotionally or mentally, we're going to process it more in a relaxed state and go through that phase of completion and then regulation, be it that it's emotional, mental, or physical. So we could actually use it for healing specific things going on. So let's do this. Let's do a little work on our respiratory system using this approach, using this technology, right? So I'm going to guide you through some things, and we're going to be practicing body listening, ball of light, and Lama yoga. Like those three things are going to come together, right? Okay, so let's start with the sinuses, right? Put your awareness on the sinuses. So you could start with that area between your eyebrows, but don't just hold your attention there. Like kind of explore that area above your eyebrows, down below, deeper within. Kind of explore those areas. As you explore those areas, go ahead and keep your awareness on those areas and begin to inhale some of the oil into your awareness on these areas. You're exploring this area up here. You're exploring the sinuses. Yeah, totally. Wailed a lot in her face. Okay, and just let it go for a moment. Let everything go. You're visualizing a ball of light. Visualize yourself in a ball of light. And then just pause and let it go. Go to the bottom of your throat, that upper chest, bottom of your throat, that area between the two collarbones, and just a little bit below that. Put your awareness on that area and just go a little bit deeper. Feel any tension in that area. And with your awareness on that area, you're taking some nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Just letting go. Just let go. Okay, you're not using the oil, but we're going to do Lama Yoga. So chin down, inhale, moving your head up, exhale through the mouth down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, up, 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 down. Just be still. Just being still. In your stillness, begin exploring the lungs. Go to where you feel some tension, some heaviness, some agitation in the lungs, including the lower lungs and even the diaphragm. Your awareness is still on your lungs. You're inhaling. Your jaw's being still. How's this feeling to you, by the way? Tense. Hey, ball of light. You're visualizing a ball of light. Visualize the ball of light. You're inside the ball of light. You're inhaling as you meditate on the ball of light. And then just pause and let it go. Just be still. Let's just do one more time. Lama yoga. So no oils, chin down. Inhale through the nose, moving your head up. Exhale through the mouth, down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Just be still. Notice how you feel your body, your emotions, your thoughts. We still have a few minutes. Anybody want to do a share or a question? How about you? How did that feel?
I mean, it was awesome. But more specifically, when we did the sinuses, my low back started to relax, like started popping. And then when we did the lungs, same thing, just a whole other layer of like my low back just relaxing.
Oh,
And I just thought it was so interesting to
yeah.
see that. And
Body tension.
yeah, just that body tension and just reflected in different, yeah, areas,
Yeah.
yeah. And go ahead. Oh, let me make sure you can unmute, Denise. You can. Go ahead.
I just wanted to share when we did from the knee down, I realized there was a lot of fear. I had a whole lot of fear, and then up into the thigh. But once we moved up more towards the abdomen, it went right above my navel on the left, really deep.
Mm.
And right there, it almost seemed to start to dissolve some of that fear. When
Oh, good.
as we moved up, till it really released, it like seemed to release it. It really shifted it up.
Oh, good.
So I really wanted to share that with you. Thank
Yeah, good. I'm glad. It sounds like you're feeling a little bit better.
you. Much better.
Good. Good. That
Still
makes me
itchy, but
happy.
much better.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
itching's gonna it'll find its way out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
But just like over the next few days, just, because if you look at like even hives or allergies or whatever it might be, it's a very strong dysregulation in a certain part of your nervous system. So the more you kind of go through and you do this little practice, even if it's like, okay, I'm feeling hives on my chest, and then put your awareness on it, and then just kind of do that same practice, and it will shift the nervous system.
I'm so looking forward to it because I can already see the benefits. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
And then we had two really quick shares I would love to
Okay,
do.
let's put them in.
When on the lungs, I felt a wave of tears coming up and on the surface. And another feeling neutral, peaceful, thank you. Love the body awareness, intuition, healing, light.
Yeah.
Join us next week still, guys.
Yeah, so next week we're doing a special thing, right? Like
Yeah, we're
gonna do a special thing for the work programming. We've done all 49 and we'll do that. And then not this weekend, but the following weekend, we're doing a 1 day thing where there's gonna be some surprises and things. If I can keep my mouth shut. So anyway,
And sorry, Robert, we don't have time. But feel free to email or do any of those kind of shares for us. Love for you guys to join us right now.
yeah, emails, Robert, email.